broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your number one source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans, producing after shows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows, interviewing celebrities and showrunners, and bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Hey there, Grimm fans! Welcome back to AfterBuzz TV's Grimm After Show. We're blessing the rains, because that's apparently the only, you gotta murder people if you're gonna bless the rains. I'm your host, Zach Wilson, talking to you about Star-Crossed here on AfterBuzz TV today. The episode of Grimm. Oh, I'm really, very excited. Guys, tweet at me throughout the week, throughout the show. That's Zach Wilson. Let me introduce my fantastic panel back, as always. Yael Tygiel.
Hi, everybody. I'm Yael. You can tweet at me live at Yael Tygiel. That's YAELTYGIEL. I'm also in the chat roll with you right now. So if you're live in the chat, I'm reading your comments. I will get to them if they're interesting. And if I miss them, I'm sorry.
And I'm Tauri Miller. You can find me at Tauri J. It's TAURIJAY. Yeah.
You're going to lead the show or you're going to sing it?
Groove it. And groove it.
I mean, maybe I'm going to do both, Yael. You don't know.
I don't know. Anything can happen.
Anything is possible on Grimm and the after show.
Happy Valentine's Day.
I bless the rains. No,
Okay.
I got it wrong.
Please,
all right,
please no.
that's done. It's done.
We're done.
All right, I'm sorry, guys.
Cut it.
I forget. Yeah. I almost wanted a record scratch. All right. Now, with all seriousness, let's open with our quote.
Great.
Yeah.
There it is.
Only you shall not eat the blood. You shall pour it out on the earth like water.
Do you want to try it again?
Yes, I do.
Okay,
actually.
great.
Yeah.
Only you shall not eat the blood. You shall pour it out on the earth like water.
Much better.
There you go.
It was good. Good the second time.
That is from the Bible. Pulling from some...
Where in the Bible?
Deuteronomy.
Oh, of course.
Yes, of course. I knew that.
Right.
I didn't have to look it up at all.
No.
But yeah, it's from the Bible. I don't have a lot of context on it, unfortunately. It's my knowledge of the Bible is limited, even from the Old Testament.
Yeah.
So let's talk. What do you guys think of Star-Crossed? You really hated the title. I could see it on your face.
I didn't like the title. I felt misled. And
You thought it was gonna be a Star-Crossed Lovers.
yeah, I when I see
Get some Nataland action up in here.
I don't know what I was looking for, but when I hear Star-Crossed, I assumed the Wesen of the week would be Star-Crossed. Lovers, of course, but no, it was literally stars and crosses.
Yeah.
Which great, good for you, punsters. But no,
I don't even think that qualifies as a pun.
whatevs. Good for you, literal
Wordplay at best.
Yeah.
literal users. I'll tell you this, I fell in love with Eve this episode.
Yeah.
I really like Eve as a character. But the Wesen of the week, Tari's gonna hate me. I was so not interested in this week's Wesen and that story and the rain.
I had mixed feelings about it. Tari, what do you think?
I liked it. I liked the story. I mean, the Wesen of the week, the Wesen itself is like, yeah, it's standard animal person. But like the story itself, getting there, like following all these clues, having to like realize that you are already super late in the game of the whole ritual, and also the fact that it tied back into the overall plot. I thought it was great.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
I did. That's one thing I appreciate a lot. I actually just talked about it on the Sleepy Hollow after show, and that like it's when you're doing episodic stories like this, like if you're gonna do it right, you need to tie it into your main arc. And this episode has a lot with the main arc, a lot of like little things here and there. There's a lot of like teasing going on that's starting to get a little frustrating. If I'm being honest, but from Rosalie and Renard both. Mm-hmm. Like honestly, we could cover it right now in about 2 seconds. Rosalie has been contacted again by mystery guy from...
He has a name.
He has a name
Yeah.
now. His name's Tony.
Yeah.
That's
it.
all the new information that we got on that storyline.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Renard officially slept with the redhead campaign manager.
Woo!
Yeah.
I wish
And
he had a name.
we left... Yeah. We say woo, but like...
Woo.
It was an accident.
Sorry.
But at the end of this episode, that storyline is exactly where it was last step. Like,
Yes.
the last 3 times
sorry.
we checked it.
James Foran says this week's Wesen was bull.
Ha.
So
Oh,
good.
boo.
I loved
Yeah.
it. I thought it was
Boo.
great. So good. Good job, James.
No, I mean, good job. I mean, a boo for a pun is the highest compliment that I can give.
I mean, I feel like the Renard storyline was specifically written for Yael, though. It's like, hey, let's just have a thing where Renard is happy. He's getting some stuff on the side, and like he's shirtless a bunch. Like
He's too happy.
You know,
He's gonna die.
Boo.
She's gonna turn out to be a Wesen. He's gonna die.
Yeah, Boo also points out he was shirtless, Yeah, I saw it, guys. Thank you. I noticed. It was beautiful.
They weren't sure. They
Oh.
weren't sure if you saw it.
You think I would miss something that glorious? Please. Please.
All right. Well,
Lydia thinks the redhead lady's using Renard.
I mean, it has to be doing something.
She couldn't
going
just
somewhere.
think he's hot.
I mean, why? Like,
it could be both.
So I was thinking about it because at the end they were so happy and it was like a couple and whatever. I was like, what if it's instead of what we're expecting, like she's gonna kill him or she's evil, they fall in love and get married and leave the show. Like, what if instead of
no,
his death-
this is Grimm.
Right.
You don't leave this show
Oh, this
without.
is Grimm?
Yeah.
Oh, my mistake.
You don't
I
leave
don't know
the
what I
show
was thinking
without
it was.
at least 6
Yeah.
puncture or bullet wounds
Oh yeah,
per person.
that'd be great.
All right, that's the
I
quota.
pulled that number out of.
Well, I mean, how many
Somewhere.
times did he get shot and then he had the bullet wounds? I'm trying to remember his.
But he
story.
didn't leave, so it's irrelevant.
Fair point.
He made it back. He didn't have enough bullet wounds,
Yeah.
so he had to stay.
Right.
But yeah, so well, let's talk about the Wesen of the week.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it was the Fulcre.
The what?
The Fulcre.
Are you sure?
I believe it's the Fulcre.
Okay.
I'm sure the chat roll
Will correct
will
you.
correct me if
Yeah.
I'm wrong.
Grimmaniac's
Yeah.
there. He'll let you know.
Yeah, the Fulcre.
Sure.
Ox like Wesen.
Bull.
Um,
It was bull.
Yeah.
No. Okay.
Yes, we heard it
Thanks.
earlier. So I kind of liked it, to be honest. I enjoyed like I enjoyed the play with the environmental aspect of it. Like, yeah, we're in a major drought, so like somebody's going to like the extreme methods. They're like,
Yeah.
well, there were ancient like issues where they did this, and like then they brought the rains down in Portland,
Yeah.
or in wherever the Fulcre are from.
Yeah.
Now it got a lot of them murdered. This part, I loved. The little history of the Fulcre and the Grimm.
What? You love history, especially when it relates to Wesen and Grimm's? I'm shocked,
Look.
Zach. It's like I've never seen this show before. History's fascinating. Go
Look,
on.
what I'm saying is like we hear a lot about like Grimms of ancient times and they just hated Wesen, so they killed them left and right.
Yeah.
But this version, it was the Grimms going to extreme measures to punish people for bad behavior, for like horrible behavior. Human sacrifices are dealt with in a swift and brutal manner, and they are just not tolerating human sacrifices.
Right. Though, I mean, I would agree with that if not for the end where it actually like rained. Not to skip ahead too much, but like in a way that kind of said that this is a magic that, because we know magic exists in this world, so it's a thing that seems to work, right? So to me, it's the equivalent of the Grimm being like the Crusaders being like, this is how society's supposed to be ran. forget your traditions, forget what you do. It's like that episode of Doctor Who, the Aztecs, where they're like, should we allow
classic
these?
Who.
Yeah, real classic Who. But like, should we allow human sacrifices if it's part of their culture, or are we responsible for driving them into progressing beyond it? You know, and so the Grimm, in a way, are erasing people's histories because they don't agree with them.
Well, I mean, I see that argument. The major difference between the Aztecs and this is that the Aztecs used willing sacrificial participants.
Mm-hmm.
It was shown. It was like decided to be a
Right.
glorious thing. They're kidnapping people, then stringing them up on a cross and brutally murdering them. Again, against their will.
Right.
Being the major difference between the two scenarios. So I think at that point, it is, if you're saying that your job is to stop people who do bad things, like a council of grim superheroes, if you will,
Right.
Then yeah, you gotta put a stop to it.
Well, not to be too contrarian, but like, we don't know if back in the day, when in the ancient rituals, they were willing or not.
They said that they were picking out and killing Caresite.
Yes.
So that implies to me that that they would be unwilling.
Agreed.
Okay.
That said, I feel like what's happening, because especially when we talk about the Black Claw versus HW, and that we are on the side of the SGO, which means that like we're kind of with the man against the like underdogs, and I feel like we're now getting stories that are kind of like, no, remember Wesen are supposed to be bad. No, remember like the Grimm side is supposed to be the right side. No, like we're on the good side, guys. And that's what this felt like.
I could see that.
Yeah.
I mean, though I still think that, like, in a way, the Grimm have always been bad, and that's why Nick shines, is that, like, the Grimm are monsters. They're fighting what they view as monsters, and what they think that people would view as monsters.
Yeah, that's why I would love to get... Like, I'm glad we have trouble running around now, because we have more than one Grimm. I would love to get a Grimm that's just so... I would love to get a different Grimm.
Like an old school Grimm.
An old school Grimm who shows up and is like, what the are you doing?
Yeah.
Like, you gotta murder that blue bot. And that Fuchs bot. Like, I want somebody who's gonna come in and really, like... We got a little bit of that when Kelly first showed up.
Yeah.
But I want more of that. Like, that's a good dynamic. I think especially for Nick right now.
Right.
With Hadrian's Wall and with Black Claw showing up, like, there's a lot of questions that he needs to be asking.
Yeah.
And I would love to have somebody who's completely outside of that. I think we will get a little more of that kind of stuff once we get deeper into the keys. Because like that, you're dealing with more ancient Wesen lore at that point.
Which, okay, I don't know if I'm changing subject too much, but the tunnel, can we talk about the tunnel to the door and what's behind the door? Because that was a very small part of the episode, but Adeline says, what if it's locked for a reason? And his response is, it's been locked for hundreds of years. And she's like, oh, but like things live a long time. It's as though they're saying, like, you're going to open this and we're going to have, like, a Buffy thing. You've released hell onto Earth.
Right.
And I feel like they're setting that up for once we're done with this Black Claw HW thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
I could see that.
I was like, are we getting Buffy? Are we getting Supernatural? What is that? Are we opening the Hellmouth? What is this?
I mean, yeah. So I mean, we got Nick with the door again, like sort of like checking this. At least that's like it felt like it was driving it forward a little bit, like because now he's actively like trying to open this thing.
Yeah.
And he seemed to be making some progress.
He called it an SOB. That poor door.
I know it must be feeling really hurt right now.
Yeah. The gamer girl says the tunnel and the keys are connected. That's obviously a theory, but yeah, I also agree. There's a door. There are keys.
Yeah.
Doors, keys.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. I mean, maybe he opens it and there's some keys like on the other side. It'd be sort of convenient.
I
but...
thought maybe the keys would open it.
Cool. They're all here.
Yeah.
How nice.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. They're all here.
Sweet.
How did I open the door without the key?
Magic. I also, just since we're talking about it, I feel like that whole sequence gave us a little bit more Natalie time, gave them a chance to be real cute together.
Yeah.
The fans are going crazy for Natalie. Yay!
But they're not doing anything yet. They're just like being all like friendly, like a couple.
Yeah, but they're
boring.
I'm sorry. The way they've built this relationship is so like the writers are so good, but like they built it in a way that makes sense. You know, I mean, I'm still waiting for their fight when he brings up all the awful things she's done, because that seems necessary. But I like the way it's been building up so far.
I mean, here's the thing, like, we're also sort of waiting on her powers to come back.
Yeah.
Because this was never supposed to be permanent.
Right.
Yeah.
It was always set up as something temporary.
Yeah.
And she's been without powers for a while now. I mean, not like no time, but like, it's been a little while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Longer than I thought when they first set it up. I thought temporary would be like, yeah, in like 2 weeks she's gonna have her powers back, at most.
Oh, I thought temporary, like over a few months, years.
Yeah, I mean that seems to be what it is.
Right.
But as soon as they come back, we're gonna get some craziness.
Some fun stuff.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. All right, so the Wesen, back with the full cray.
Yeah.
It's a sort of a classic like serial killer thing. Reminded me almost a little bit of like a Dexter. Like with Dexter would spend like a season hunting down. But I mean I liked it. Like, I mean we don't have to talk about all the details, but like the water symbols like tying in, like all that stuff. The fact that it did rain right after the end. I don't know. What do you guys think? Did you like that? Did you not like that?
Tauri?
Coincidence? Real?
I liked it because to me, it felt like a game changer. I felt like it legitimized a part of Wesen culture. So, I mean, and you could say it's a coincidence they were due for rain, but at the same time, you could also say that there's a little bit of legitimacy to Black Claw's desire for fundamentalism, because we, as like the Grimm, basically force them into the smaller reaches of society.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think it was coincidence. I think it was just a, like, well, now it's gotta rain so that we could think maybe they did do it. But no.
I mean, magic is very real in this world.
I know, but we've never seen this kind of magic.
Yeah, but we've seen pretty heavy magic before. Think about the golem. The golem.
The golem?
The golem.
Those are two different things.
I know, but it's hard to break the habit. The golem was that wasn't a Wesen, that was pure magic.
Right.
Yeah, I guess you're right. I mean, also we have had the magic of they make love and magic things happen, I guess. I guess murdering people and putting them on a stake and writing a symbol is not that different than smoking out of a hat.
A
bong hat.
A bong, yo.
It was a bong hat. A hat bong.
Yeah.
And then
Either way, it's a bong. I mean, Claire Coffey confirmed on this very podcast that it was a bong.
I'm aware that it was a bong, but it was in the shape of a hat. It was a hat bong.
Yes.
Anyway, all right, okay, fine. It was magic. It's a game changer. The whole thing's different now.
I mean, you don't have to agree with me. I just feel like that's a thing. And, yeah.
Do you feel they will address it at all?
I don't.
Okay. Agreed.
But I think that it needed to happen. Like, because it's easy to say that the characters, the Fulcre, were just insane people. Mm-hmm. They were just fanatics. But at the same time, it lets you kind of wonder if that's the case.
Well, I never thought of them as crazy fanatics. They're traditional. I don't want to offend anyone who has beliefs.
Fundamentalists.
Pious. They were pious.
Yes.
Sure. I mean, the big way that this whole story tied back in is when the kid
The son?
Yeah, the son. I spent the whole episode thinking that it was going to end up being the kid.
So they totally pulled an SVU on us, where they introduced this super minor like character who gives you info, and then they convince you that you're following the person, but it's always someone related or near the person that they are thinking it is. That's all. It's like every SVU episode. And so I was like, we think it's a son, we think it's a son. And then when it was the obscure guy, I was like, oh, they did it again. SVU crossover. Please.
That would be hilarious.
It would be beautiful. That's all.
They're both NBC.
I know.
True.
NBC.
And they're cops.
Work on it.
Yeah.
I don't know how we're gonna get the the NYPD jurisdiction in Portland, but I'm sure you can figure it out. They've been to Chicago before.
They've also been to LA.
Portland.
They've been to a lot of places.
Yeah, and now is the best time to do it since our Wesen enemy is international.
Yeah.
They're like, we followed this guy. He's known as the Courier.
Look, if
into
Sleepy
Portland.
Hollow can cross over with Bones, anything can happen.
Exactly. Also, stop plugging Sleepy Hollow on the show.
Yeah, that's fine. But yeah, so yeah, I like that this guy is like a member of the Black Claw, and he's committed. He's committed to the old ways.
Yeah,
and that's what the Black Claw is about. Like, it was sort of crazy to see this like creepy like rally.
Yeah.
Where and Monroe had that great, yeah, hate them.
I love the way he was like, yeah. What's the Uncle Tom Libre? Like, yeah. I'm one of you. I'm one of you guys. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm with Uncle Tom Libre. I'm totally with you. Whatever. Just stop kicking this guy. You jerks.
Yeah.
I thought he might die in that scene. Like, I thought those two guys, when they started to walk out, I thought they were gonna kill him.
Monroe or the other guy?
The other guy.
Oh, I was like, Monroe was not gonna die.
No.
Okay.
The dad.
Yeah. I would have been cool with that.
I mean, it would have been bad. You would have been cool
I mean, like,
with that.
in terms of a story, I would have been okay with that happening.
All right.
Not okay.
Yeah, Yael likes murder.
You'll like
What else is new?
Yeah.
But yeah, so let's jump over to Hadrian's Wall.
Thank you.
I know, Yael, you've been waiting to talk about Meisner.
No, I've been waiting to talk about Eve.
Sure, yeah.
Guys.
So we got a pretty like awesome like little fight sequence with them.
Yeah.
That I thought was cool. After Trouble like finds this guy like
Yeah.
through her like
Hacker skills.
new hacker skills.
Yeah, she's turned into Sky.
Yeah.
She's totally Sky.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Agents of
I didn't
S.H.I.E.L.D.,
notice
guys.
that until just.
Agents
But
of
you're
S.H.I.E.L.D.
totally right.
She's Sky, with she's short hair Sky.
Yeah.
So
She actually resembles the comic book version of Daisy
interesting.
a little more with the super short hair.
Yeah.
That's great.
Anyway, back to Grimm.
James in the chat, James Foreign says, "Yeah, likes two things: Meisner and murder."
Yeah,
That's great.
I've known Yael for a while now.
I like a lot more than two
yeah.
things. Let's be honest.
We like R&R. She likes Eminem.
M&Ms.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, Hadrian's Wall.
Yeah.
I love the torture scene.
Yeah.
Right?
So good.
This really solidified Eve as a character for me.
Yeah.
We got
And
to
separated her from Juliet.
Absolutely. James Elwood in the chat says, "Why was Trouble even there when Eve was interrogating the guy? Trouble literally just stood and watched." But Grimmaniac points out that Trouble's probably like still in training. That said, it looked like Trouble was not okay with it.
Yeah.
And then she was like, hear no evil. I think you're forgetting hear no evil. Like, oh, she's in on
She's
this.
the good cop.
Yeah.
She's the worst good cop ever. It was great. It was so great.
No, because she just like, stands back and there's like, maybe she'll help me. She seems to sympathize. And then she's like, oh no, I think you forgot one.
Yeah.
You forgot
They're
one.
playing good, bad, worst right now.
Nice.
Meisner's the good.
Wait, what? The good? I'm gonna go get some coffee.
Yeah,
You do what you
the
want.
good cop always leaves the bad cop to do the damage. He's like, I can help you, but only if you help. And then they're like, oh, I'm going to refuse you. And they're like, all right, well, I gotta go. I'm not sure what this guy's gonna do.
Yeah, but usually good cop stays a little bit longer. like I am on your side. I am here to help you.
Look.
He was like, I'm either gonna help you or get coffee. Your call. All right, I'm
coffee
getting
and
coffee.
Look, I mean, yeah, Meisner got in there, he did his business, and he got out when he was done. Like, he didn't need to stay in
I
there.
will neither confirm nor deny.
But like, it's so creepy. Like, the look, like, as soon as she, like, covers her mouth, and you know what it's gonna be like when the hand comes away, but like but doing it to his eyes and then his ears, and then leaving him alone to just, I can't imagine that kind of torture.
It was great. It was so good.
Yeah.
I loved it. It was. I mean, we've never seen an interrogation like that, right? That's like, I've seen, the mouth, right?
Right.
You've never seen all three.
Yeah. It's instant solitary confinement.
It's
Yeah.
And then she was like, I mean, yeah, he's ready if you don't want him to go insane. So it's like she thought it through.
Yeah.
Oh, I like Eve. I really do. She's so badass.
Yep. No, she's great. I have mixed feelings about the wigs. I wanted to ask you guys what you thought. I honestly, I wanted to ask what you guys think of the wigs.
Yeah.
It seems silly to me.
It's a little silly. However, it definitely is a way to help us visually distinguish her from Juliet. And
Couldn't we just dye her hair instead of swapping it around all the time?
No.
Because she as a agent, she has to go from place to place, and it can't be like, well, I saw a diamond blonde a platinum blonde lady, and it's like, well, that's what she is forever. Whereas she can be more, I guess, incognito with these different, but I think
the most glaring wigs.
Yeah, it's just because it visually looks awesome because with this these drab browns and grays that fill the screen, and then her hair just pops out.
Yeah. Well, I see them as a character quirk, if anything. So it's like her bow tie.
Ah.
All right.
Interesting.
I mean, when you put it like that.
Lydia points out, back to the good cop, bad cop. Trouble was bad cop. Eve was the blunt instrument. Yeah.
Whoa.
That's correct.
All right.
Yeah.
As for the wigs, I'm a big fan of wigs. I really do like them. Her wigs, though, are very drag show, not drag show, Mardi Gras, as opposed to wigs.
That's what I mean. It's not like she had it wouldn't bother me if it was she put on a blonde wig, she put on a red wig,
right,
she put on a brunette, black,
different hairstyles, whatever. But they're all the same.
They're just what crazy color is she gonna wear this week? Pink or lime green or just white.
It also when she was at the restaurant, she stood out so much because of the wig.
Right.
And I think that's the problem, is out in the field, she stands out so much now.
Yeah. Which, if they're trying to, maybe they're trying to build her a reputation, basically. So that, when you see a bright colored wig walk into a room, you freaking run.
Yeah.
That's a really great theory.
You
I'd like
bail. Because that's a big, when you see, it's a big superhero thing. It's when you see that costume, you run, because if a blue and white shield or blue, red, and white shield with a star flies in through a window and you're not the Red Skull, you get the hell out of there. Because you're not gonna stick around. So she is scary.
Yeah.
Almost to the point I kind of want them to I kind of think they would really release this guy back out into the world
to spread the
to be
spread the tale.
They're not messing around,
Right.
Yeah.
They're scary. Real scary. Nightmares for the rest of your life.
Do you think they're gonna release the guy?
They might. I honestly don't think we'll ever see him again.
I definitely thought it would end with her going like this and his head and his neck snapping.
Interesting.
I mean, she did, like, we don't know what happened after we stopped on her, froze, and then she just tilted her
I love
head.
her so much.
Like, that was such an animalistic, like, you're such a strange creature. Like,
You're my plaything.
you both did it at the exact same moment. It was so creepy.
Good.
We are one. We are together.
Back away.
Okay.
One
Over
of us.
here.
Okay. All right.
That's enough of that.
But the big thing they get out of it is they get Lucian's name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He moves around a lot like any good spy does.
We were talking about this earlier. He doesn't stay in a place more than one night. That sounds real expensive.
I mean, I my first thought on it was that he was staying with different members of Black Claw.
Yeah, my thought was this is real expensive.
Yeah. Like he's in a different
I
hotel.
mean, look,
Airbnb.
we saw like earlier in the season like a whole scheme to like
Get money.
bankroll this operation.
You're right.
This is a massive international like organization. I think they got cash for some motels.
So does the SGO.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
HW's living with all the bling. Here's my
they
question.
got that federal money.
Oh yeah.
That taxpayer
Yeah,
money.
seriously. So the other question I had about the interrogation room is the door is exactly the same as all the bedrooms. It's the same door. Every room in that entire complex has the same door.
Yeah.
How do you know that that's the right room?
It's like, I mean, it's like an army like barracks.
Yeah,
like
but they usually have numbers or something.
Maybe there's a little piece of flair on the handles. You know. There's,
yeah, that you just can't see. I don't know.
All right.
Yeah.
It just I was like, we going into a bedroom? Nope, we're going to the interrogation room.
Or you count your steps.
Yeah.
Meisner's room is 6 steps from the hallway.
7.
Ooh.
Go on.
I mean, 6 if you're in a hurry.
Yeah. or tall.
Right.
So yell for you it's 7.
Thanks.
Any other thoughts, guys?
Yes. So we find out that Meisner says it's time to find out where everybody stands and that he wants everyone to come in. And there's an entire conversation about what that means and what they have to do. Do they have to do an oath? Are they going to start working for the government now? Like, what does that mean? And I'm waiting for the day that they have this sit down because what does it mean? It's going to be an interesting moment.
Yeah.
And it's weird because he said he wanted that answer now, and instead we did other things.
Yeah. I mean, I'm imagining they get their cell phones, they sign a contract for like 3 years, get their salaries, something to that effect, or sign an NDA because right now they're freelancing, so they can just spread all the news they want. But once they sign that contract, man, they can't say nothing, or they'll get sued.
Or beheaded.
One of those two. I think I'd prefer the latter.
I mean, I kind of hope that we get, like, through them joining or debating joining, we get a little bit more into what they, like, who's behind the SGO or the HW,
Yeah.
whatever the hell we're calling them.
I interchange those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You mean the federal government?
If it is the federal government, like,
or if Mama Grimm Kelly is still alive?
I mean, I don't know.
He gave Nick a picture of her body last episode.
So it could have been glamoured. Magic.
I really hope that's not true, and I doubt it is.
It's not. But
Grimm is better about that.
Yeah.
I definitely gonna say they're better than that. I was like, what are you saying about me?
I feel like it's a big group of Grimms, especially after this episode where we learn that Grimms are like the culture police.
Oh my god, I would love a Grimm Council! Grimm Council, please.
Yeah, Rosalie even brought up the council.
Yeah.
And that...
I mean, they only died like a week ago at this point.
Right, but she brought up that, like, it sounds like HW is trying to be the new council in a different way. In a better funded, less conference roomy way.
Yeah.
I mean, they definitely think they are. Mm-hmm. They absolutely believe that they are doing what the Wesen Council was doing.
Yeah.
But like, I mean, it does sound like the American government. Like, there's something ancient and important going on. We're the people to fix it. We're not going to wait and listen and talk to anybody else, but we're going to start an organization. We're going to funnel a whole bunch of money into it, and then we're going to stop the terrorists.
You're right, that does sound like the government.
Yeah, pretty much.
But I like it. I like where it's going. I want to know more. I would love to find out that there's like a Grimm Council, whether it's behind the HW or not, and they just like are coming out of hiding. Maybe that's what's behind the door.
They're waiting.
We've been so cold in here.
We wanted you to find all the keys to open the door.
Why do you think we left the keys? We're trapped in here. Oh, man. But yeah, I could definitely see a very interesting storyline behind coming out of who's behind the HW and like evolution or who else is behind Black Claw.
I just want to know who from the Scooby Gang is going to join the HW. Because they said we're going to, and I'm harping on this point, but Rosalie said whatever we choose together. And I want to be like, that's not how adulting works. But also I want to see who's going and what that does to the Scooby Gang.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, do you guys have any other thoughts on this episode? Should we move forward?
Yeah.
Into predictions.
Well, no. Before we get to predictions, I
got excited.
Before we get to predictions, I want to take a second and talk to you guys about our sponsors.
Yay!
Because it's only with our sponsors that we're able to do fantastic programming like this, and all for free. Like you guys get to watch this on YouTube, you get to listen to it on iTunes or SoundCloud or however you're finding this completely for free, and we're able to do that with our fantastic sponsors. And this week's sponsor is Casper Mattresses, again, as it was last week.
Yay.
And Casper is a great company. They were named one of Time Magazine's best inventions of 2015. I want to make sure I got the nomenclature on that right.
Yeah.
But yeah, best invention of 2015, because these are some of the most comfortable mattresses out there. There's a lot of great advice on how to get a good night's sleep, but the best advice I can give you is get a great mattress, because that's where it starts. It all starts with your mattress. It's engineered for supportive comfort that guarantees you a great night's sleep. Just like they also now have new sheets and pillows, also all very engineered to give you the best possible sleep that you can possibly get. The dual layer pillow contains nearly 1 billion microfibers that adapt as you move and keep you supported and cool throughout the night. Casper ships its mattresses for free in a surprisingly compact box that you can try in your home for 100 nights, completely risk-free. And that's a great deal. You can get it delivered to your home. You don't have to like lug it or call a truck. It just gets delivered for free. And if you don't love it after 100 days, they'll pick it up and refund everything. And the best part is you can get $50 off because of us here at AfterBuzz TV.
Wow.
If you go to Casper.com and use the code AfterBuzzTV, one more time, the code is AfterBuzzTV, you can get $50 off your mattress. That's of any size. They have like all the different sizes up to King and California King. Get $50 off. Go to Casper.com Casper.com and use the code AfterBuzzTV. One more time, Casper.com/after. No slash. Casper.com, code AfterBuzzTV. Don't listen to the brief moment there. No, there's no slash. No slash. Slash the slash.
But there is Casper.com.
And then the code is AfterBuzzTV.
Yes.
Yeah, terms and conditions may apply. All right, guys, let's move into some predictions.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV
Predictions?
Okay. Next week, the Anubis Wesen are back.
Yay.
I'm
like
excited.
the Egyptian god ones.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I loved that episode. I'm excited that we're going back into that territory. I mean, we didn't really get a lot from that.
We saw that it was Monroe versus the Egyptian gods.
Yeah.
Two Egyptian dogs versus Monroe. It looked like they were stealing something.
Interesting.
Who knows what?
Yeah.
I mean, in the last time we saw those Wesen, they were trying to steal like an ancient mummy.
Who was an Egyptian god? He was the other one.
Yep.
Right.
So I'm wondering if it'll be something similar.
Okay.
All right.
like another ancient artifact that could bring the Black Claw a lot of power.
Yeah.
I would love that. I would love to get more in, like, if the magic was real from this week.
Yeah.
It opens up a whole realm of possibilities. Like, what of all of these crazy old beliefs that, like, whether from real life or from Wesen, like, from Grimm world that they make up, what's real, what's not? Could be very interesting.
Yeah.
It's true.
What are you guys thinking?
I think, this is going to be a safe prediction. I think we're going to get very little info on Dixon and Renard and that whole storyline. We're going to get like 2 scenes tops, but most likely 1.
I still continue my prediction that Dixon is Black Claw.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But it my only hesitation on it now is that they've been stringing us along on it so long that I'm like, yeah, okay, she is or works for bad people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We get it. Just get to the point.
Yeah.
Tony's gonna be bad. I guess. Get to the point.
There are a lot of theories in the chat about the keys. James Elwood says that they're probably stealing the keys. Jay says that they're probably guarding more keys. Mr. D-Style says, #the keys.
Oh,
yeah.
Wow.
You can't hashtag in the chat roll, guys.
And
And then,
wherever you want.
yeah,
guys.
Bernard is also probably going to run for mayor. Yeah, I feel like she was setting him up to start running against Dixon,
Oh, really?
the redhead, with the, like, you're a natural, you exude power.
Oh, you think she's gonna, like, pull a fast one and,
She's
like,
gonna-
Bernard's gonna run?
Yeah, I think she's going to try to convince Renard to run.
Interesting.
I mean, look at that posture. It's just so blah, 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 blah.
I thought
Whatever, Yael, you're thinking it.
I figured she
It's
was
not what I
setting
was
him
thinking.
up to be like a Black Claw leader instead.
Ah.
Like another Lucian, essentially.
Ooh. Or to take out Lucian and take over. I like
Ooh,
that.
yeah.
I would really like to see Renard and
Interesting.
Lucian fight shirtless.
Yeah. It's got to be shirtless.
Obviously.
Oh my god.
But yeah.
But only if Meisner gets in the fray at some point.
But he'd have to come in and stop the fighting and get his shirt ripped off too. I don't understand.
Oh,
You guys
God.
clearly didn't think this through.
So there's a lot of stuff up in the air. I'm very excited to see where we go with this. Any last thoughts, guys? Any last predictions you want to throw out?
Nah, I'm just glad they played their Egyptian god card. Dylan, thank you. It's a Yu-Gi-Oh
Were you
joke.
thanking?
Yes!
Were you thanking yourself there?
Yes.
I don't quite
Yes.
understand.
Dylan's in my head, and he's like, "Here, say this joke," and I did it, and then I thanked him for it.
Very nice, very nice. Okay, until next week, Yael Tygiel, where can everyone keep up with you?
Everyone can keep up with me on Yael.tv. That's why AEL.tv. I'm also on Twitter and Instagram where I'm giving away DVDs at Yael Tygiel. That's why AELTYGIEL. And I have a new podcast that is out every week after this show, really. It's called Intimate Interrogations. It's free on iTunes. Check it out.
And I'm Tauri J. Miller. You can find me at Twitter. Nope, at Tauri J on Twitter. TAURIJAY. Yep.
It's contagious.
Slash.
Thank you guys so much for watching. As always, go on to iTunes and AfterBuzz TV on YouTube. So hit the subscribe button. It really helps us out. Follow us on AfterBuzz TV on Twitter, and so many other ways. You can follow me at that Zach Wilson, ThatZachWilson on Twitter, Instagram, now on YouTube. I have a big goal for the year. I want to get to 1,000 subscribers on my YouTube channel by the end of the year. So go on there, help me out, help me try to reach that goal. I'm gonna be releasing some stuff about television, just talking about TV, like I do every day. It's all I do. So until next week, guys, I'm Zach Wilson, and thanks for geeking out with us.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.